Warm greetings to the devoted followers of Sheikh Hamdan's official channel, your premier source for the latest insights into the life and works of Sheikh Hamdan and the esteemed royal family of Dubai. Join our community to experience the richness of their vision and legacy. We're thrilled to share with you the English translation of Sheikh Hamdan's poignant poem, Love is a Sense, a masterpiece that embodies the essence of love, compassion, and humanity. Dive into the profound words of the Crown Prince of Dubai and let the beauty of his poetry inspire your heart and soul. I'm aware that forgiveness might be out of reach, and I don't expect it. Still, I want to express my thoughts, even if they're never seen or acknowledged. My intention isn't to reopen wounds or shift blame, but to take responsibility for my actions and the pain they caused. I'm not asking for absolution. I'm seeking to acknowledge the hurt I've inflicted and the trust I've broken. I'm left to grapple with the reality that my actions caused you pain, despite my claims of good intentions. The truth is, intentions are irrelevant when hurt has been inflicted. I was careless with your heart, prioritizing my own fears and flaws over the beauty of what we had. I took your love and devotion for granted, assuming that it would always be there, waiting for me to figure things out. In my blindness, I didn't notice the toll our relationship took on you. I didn't see the exhaustion, the hurt, or the doubts that crept in every time I failed to meet you halfway. I didn't realize that my actions, or lack thereof, were slowly pushing you away. It wasn't until you were gone that I understood the value of what I had lost. Love doesn't wait forever, it doesn't forgive indefinitely. It requires effort, commitment, and attention. I'm left to ponder what could have been if only I had been more present, more attentive, and more willing to work through my own issues. The pain of losing you is a reminder that relationships are a two-way street, and I was driving solo while expecting you to navigate the entire journey. I'm aware that apologies are insufficient to mend the wounds I've caused. Words can't undo the pain, erase the tears, or reverse the moments when you needed me most and I wasn't there. Instead of seeking forgiveness for my own sake, I hope that someday you'll find it in your heart to release the burden of what I did. Not for my benefit, but for yours. I hope forgiveness will allow you to find peace, to let go of the anger and the weight that I've left you with. I hope you'll be able to acknowledge that what happened wasn't your fault, but mine. If I could convey one final message, it would be that you'll always occupy a space in my thoughts. I'll forever wonder what could have been if only I had acted differently. Though we've parted ways, I hope you found happiness and peace. I hope you've discovered a love that cherishes and values you for who you are. And if forgiveness is possible, I hope it's not for my sake, but for yours, so you can heal and move forward. The weight of my regret is a constant reminder of what I've lost. I'll forever grapple with the consequences of my actions, and the knowledge that my apology may never be enough. I've spent countless moments reflecting on what I would say to you if given the chance, but the truth is, I should have spoken up sooner. The silence between us has grown thick, and I've become a memory from your past. Yet, I feel compelled to express my remorse, even if it's too late, even if it changes nothing. I'm driven by the need to acknowledge my mistakes, to take responsibility for the pain I've caused, and to ensure that my silence doesn't perpetuate the hurt. In the end, it's not about whether you forgive me or not, it's about me finding a way to live with the consequences of my actions. I need to say this, not to shift the burden onto you, but to take ownership of my part in our story. Perhaps, someday, you'll find it in your heart to forgive, but for now, I'm left to navigate the complexity of my own regret. In the absence of your love, I've come to realize the depth of what you gave me. Your patience, kindness, and devotion were a sanctuary, a refuge that I took for granted. I assumed your love was a constant, a guarantee that didn't require effort or nurturing. But love is a reciprocal force, a dynamic that demands mutual care and attention. You weren't an endless source of understanding, you were a person with needs, desires, and expectations. You needed me to show up, to care, and to fight for us. But I was absent, preoccupied with my own fears and doubts. By the time I recognized my mistakes, you had depleted your reserves of love and patience. Your departure was a necessary step towards your healing, a painful truth that I can no longer ignore. I realize now that I wasn't the safe haven you needed, instead, I was a source of stress and anxiety. It's a hard pill to swallow, but your decision to leave was probably the catalyst for the growth and happiness you've found since. Watching you thrive without me is a bittersweet experience. On one hand, it hurts to see you move on and find joy without me. On the other hand, I'm grateful that you found the peace and happiness you deserve. If I could go back, I wouldn't try to rekindle what we had or ask for another chance. Instead, I'd want you to know that you deserve so much more than what I offered. You deserve someone who will love you fully, without condition or hesitation. You deserve someone who will show up for you, who will support you, and who will cherish you. I hope that you found that person, and that you're living a life filled with love, joy, and purpose. My hope for you is that you'll always remember your worth and never settle for anything less than what you deserve. Your strength lies in your ability to move forward without being held back by regret. You don't dwell on what could have been, and you don't question your worth. You know your value, and you know that you were always enough. It was I who fell short, who failed to meet you at your level of love and commitment. This is my final gesture, my last attempt to find closure. I won't reach out again, won't try to rekindle what's been extinguished. I've said what I needed to say, and now it's time for me to let go. I hope that my words will bring you peace, that they'll allow you to see that you deserve all the love and happiness in the world. As I reflect on the past, my hope is that you'll find closure and be able to release the pain I caused. I wish for the day when memories of me won't bring hurt, but rather a sense of understanding. I'm seeking forgiveness, not just for my own peace of mind, but for yours as well. I've spent a lot of time trying to move on, trying to convince myself that life goes on, but the truth is, I'm haunted by the memories of what I did to you. I see now that I wasn't there for you when you needed me most. I gave you silence instead of love, indifference instead of reassurance. I let you down in ways that you gave me your heart, your trust, and your love. You showed me sides of yourself that you didn't show anyone else. But I failed to protect and cherish those gifts. Instead, I made you question your worth, your love, and your trust. I hope that you'll find it in your heart to forgive me, not for my sake, but for yours, so that you can heal and move forward. My actions had a profound impact on you, making you doubt your worth and the love we shared. I was the one who struggled to love properly, and my shortcomings led to the damage our relationship suffered. I see now that my behavior not only affected our bond but also influenced how you approach love. You've become more cautious, more guarded, and more hesitant to open up due to the pain I caused. I took more than I gave, leaning on you when I was vulnerable while failing to be there for you in return. My fears and doubts silenced the words you needed to hear, making you feel like you were fighting for us alone. Looking back, I'm amazed you stayed as long as you did. Your decision to leave was a testament to your strength and self-love. At first, I resented your departure, feeling that you gave up too easily. However, I've come to realize that leaving me was an act of self-preservation. If you had stayed, I would have continued to rely on you to fix my issues, rather than taking responsibility for my own growth. Your departure was a necessary step towards your healing, and I'm grateful for the clarity I've gained. You deserve to be free from the pain and hurt that I caused. I don't anticipate forgiveness, but I hope that with time, you'll find peace. Perhaps not now or in the near future, but someday, when you reflect on our time together, I hope the memories won't be tainted by anger and bitterness. I hope the wounds will heal, and you'll be able to cherish the good times without the weight of how things ended. You deserved so much more than what I gave you. You deserved love, care, and compassion. If I could turn back the clock, I'd strive to love you the way you always deserved, with kindness, empathy, and understanding. I'd aim to be the partner you needed, someone who'd support and uplift you, rather than causing you pain. All I can do now is humbly ask for forgiveness. I wish I had handled things differently, that I had stayed to face you and provide the closure you deserved. Instead, I chose to leave, leaving you with unanswered questions and doubts. I'm deeply sorry for putting the weight of my actions on your shoulders, making you wonder if you were somehow to blame. The truth is, my departure had nothing to do with your love or your worth. It was my own fears and insecurities that drove me away. I regret not being brave enough to be honest with you, to tell you that my leaving was not a reflection of your value or our relationship. I hope that someday you'll be able to forgive me for my cowardice and find peace. The truth is, I was the one who wasn't ready for the depth of love you offered. Your openness and vulnerability intimidated me, and I wasn't strong enough to meet you halfway. My decision to leave wasn't a reflection of your worth or the love we shared, but rather my own inability to confront my fears and doubts. You deserved so much more than my silence and absence. You deserved honesty, transparency, and closure. Instead, I let you shoulder the burden of my actions, making you wonder what you could have done differently. The weight of my cowardice still haunts me, and I'm left to grapple with the consequences of my choices. I remember the last time we spoke, the look in your eyes as hope slowly faded. Your voice cracked as you asked if I ever really loved you, and I'm consumed by regret for not answering truthfully. The answer was always yes, but by the time I realized it, you were already gone. I'm left to wonder what could have been if only I had been brave enough to stay and face my fears. I'm aware that understanding may be too much to ask, but I hope forgiveness is possible. I recognize that I'm not worthy of kindness after the way I departed without a word. Yet, I hold on to the hope that someday, when you think of me, the pain will subside. You'll come to realize your worth and understand that my leaving was a reflection of my own shortcomings, not yours. I wish for your liberation from the weight of my actions. I hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive me, even if it's not spoken aloud. Even if we never reconnect, I pray that you'll release the burden of my mistakes. I'll carry the weight of my regret for the rest of my life, and I hope that forgiveness will allow you to heal and move forward.